Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. MC-Mura here, and in today's video we are checking out the Season 5 changes for FANG, and this is a character I think that is very underrated. I'm kinda glad that Daigo picked him up and started showing people his potential, because FANG is generally perceived to be weak, but I honestly thought this character was really good actually. And it's good that people are now seeing the potential of the character. So let's check out how Capcom actually changed FANG for this season, and it's actually not that much. He didn't change that drastically. The first change, and this is kind of a fair one in my opinion, his standing heavy kick of course hits twice, right? So what they did is that the first hit knocks the opponent down. The idea here is that if he had landed the first hit in the air, the opponent would get a reset, the second hit would whiff, and he would get punished. Now pretty much if you land this against an airborne opponent, you are guaranteed that either they will fall to the ground or that you will get the 2 hits, right? It's kinda like that. They don't want him to get punished for something like this one. So that is fair, I guess. The other change is that you can also now use it in juggles after the anti-air or the air-to-air. This is kind of finicky, but you can do stuff like that now. You can even use like meterless Sotoja if you want. But again, this is really finicky. Like, I wouldn't actually be using this that much, but it is possible. So you can get stuff like that, and that's actually the change to Sotoja itself. Increase the combo count. They increase the combo count. That means that it's easier to use in juggle, and it is for this very specific juggle. So now he gets, when he hits you air to air, he gets to do that now. But like I said, it's very finicky, and you're not gonna see that one that much. I would still prefer to do the jumping into the air to air into the heavy punch. That seems like a better situation to me, at least. The other change is to his flight, and this again the same universal change. The flight is now, he will be put in a juggle state if you anti-air him with a medium or a heavy. This is a very fair change because his flight was very hard to anti-air. It's actually one of the hardest jump-ins to anti-air. The timing is super weird. It was kinda abusable. It's a free get out of jail card for the most part. For example, you can, in the corner, you can jump backwards and fly away. So there was a lot of way to use this and have it be really safe or really hard to deal with. And they are trying to balance that a little bit. So that is a cool change. Then he got some changes to his down forward heavy punch. And these are some interesting changes. The first thing is that the second hit can now be cancelled into V-trigger. So this is pretty much giving him a hit confirm into V-trigger. Obviously both V-trigger 1 or V-trigger 2, because usually FANG player activate from sweep, right? So now they give him a second confirm that he can cancel into. The issue with this move is that it is still -5 on block. So if you're throwing it out there hoping to activate V-trigger, you are still kinda unsafe, so you would still have to V-trigger cancel to make it safe anyways. Otherwise you are not getting like a conversion. So I do think FANG player will actually still be doing the crouching heavy kick. I do think that is what is gonna remain, that's what's gonna remain happening. But this is an option now, so it is a decent change, I guess. And they also made this easier to get whiff punished, so good, I guess. And also they increased the special cancel window by 5 frames. So this attack is actually special cancelable, and you could cancel it into fireball. You can actually cancel it into dash punch, but the charge time is very difficult. It should be a little bit easier now, but again, I'm still having issues with it. It's very hard in my opinion, but it is possible. And obviously now, when you're in V-trigger 1, he doesn't require charge anymore for his attacks. So they made it so that you can hit confirm this a lot easier now. Obviously you have to go for the medium here, but they made hit confirming that a lot easier. So now while FANG is in V-trigger 1, you kinda have this to hit confirm, or you can just do it into the fireball if you want to be safe. So This is kind of a cute hit confirm now when he is in V-Trigger. And speaking of V-Trigger, obviously one of his changes was that his V-skill was a legitimate projectile now. It have a hitbox and everything. So they made it 2 hits. This is cool for Fireball Wars. FANG already wasn't losing Fireball Wars to begin with, because obviously he had the up ball, he had the cloud, he could do the command dash, and that would go under Fireball, so he was fine against Fireball characters. But now they gave him this option so that he have an even better option against Fireballs. Obviously it hits twice, it's doing a lot more damage, it's doing the double the damage and stun. So it's a cool buff for him. They just gave him more damage and stun, right? You obviously could use it for setups like that. So that is a good buff for the character. And finally, they made it +4 on hit. So point blank, if you happen to land it, you can actually link a jab here. So I'm guessing there will be maybe some conversions where you get to do that. Not really sure what, you're not gonna be using the V skill that close anyway, so I'm not sure what the +4 signifies. But at least if you are +4, it means that you are also plus on hit to act, right? And they made it totally safe on block. It is now 0 on block, which I said is really good because it kind of works with the down forward hit confirm, right? You hit confirm this into dash punch if it happened to hit, and on block you cancel into the V skill. So that is pretty nice. And finally, they extended the hitbox backward after the final projectile for the fireball. This pretty much means that the last hit is hitting backwards a little bit more. This should help him a little bit with people punishing him after it and with combo consistency. And that is pretty much it for FANG. He did get slight buffs here and there. I don't think any of these are significant. His V-Trigger 1 is honestly really good. It is criminally underrated. The idea behind FANG is, and this is something that I'm very glad that Daigo started showing, FANG pretty much gets to build V-Gauge for free, right? Like you could always use his V-Gauge, his V-Skill. It's very easy to use and you are getting free V-Gauge. And once you have free V-Gauge, you can just, if you had it like for maximum start a normal timer, so you pretty much could activate his V-Trigger, get rid of the V-Skill quickly, right? And then you would have V-Trigger again. You will be able to build V-Trigger twice. And the strength of having V-Trigger twice with character like FANG is that the activation, he gets to do the screen freeze activation and wave punish. You get to do stuff like that and combo after it. He pretty much gets to activate twice very regularly. He's one of the few characters who can activate V-Trigger twice very regularly, and that is a strength, right? That is a strength of his V-Trigger and his V-System that I personally feel is super overlooked. And like I said, that's pretty much it for FANG. If you have enjoyed this video, please leave a like or a comment. It helps the channel so much. I will leave a link to the Patreon page and the Discord server in the description. Once more, thank you very much for watching and stay safe.